I was thinking of maybe we do a catchweight at 190. We get the cruiserweight belts involved, light heavyweight belts involved, and winner take all. Dmitry said he wanted to fight for the cruiserweight championships before his career was over. So maybe this is we can make a even bigger fight like that. Yeah, so based on the sparring, I know the potential of some certain type of scenarios in the ring. And, you know, for a fight to change or fight to end, it only needs 1 second or one good combination. So I know that I told you guys over and over then that I did this to Sudo Ramirez in the ring. I did the same thing to Dmitry Bivol. You know, I'm not trying to be cocky, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but those are just the facts.
To be honest, now I don't care. Now I wanna come back and then we will see. Yeah, trilogy is. If people want to see it, I would like to show it. If people wanna see Benavidez, let's do it. But for my soul also, I wanna come. I wanna move up. I wanna try to another weight class. I wanna have some more achievement. And we will see.
David Benavidez and Dmitry Bivol ignited a fiery war of words ahead of a potential catchweight super fight that could determine true pound-for-pound dominance. Ben's made it clear that his main goal is to capture all of Bivol's titles, saying this is the only fight that truly matters to him at the moment.
Bivol is really he's the only fight I really want, like that I truly want, because he has all the belts. You know what I mean? After I beat Bivol, I'm gonna have, right now I have 8 titles. You know, 3 of them were interim, 3 of them world championships at super middleweight, light heavyweight. Now I got 2 of them at cruiserweight. I really want those belts. You know, I want those accolades. So that's the only thing I want right now. You know, I'm not thinking about Opataya. I'm not thinking about none of these guys, because this is a fight I want, and it makes sense for both of them.
With Bivol showing strong interest in a showdown against Benz, Oscar de la Hoya believes the fight could further solidify Bivol's legacy. However, despite the high stakes, he gives the edge to Benz in this potential blockbuster matchup.
I mean, if he's willing to do that, if he's willing to be great and fight Benavidez, my gosh, that would solidify, you know, Bivol's, you know, Hall of Fame career for sure. But look, yeah, he proves to the world that he's the best at 175. So yeah, I think that's a hell of a fight. That would be a hell of a route to take.
Would you favor him or Benavidez in that?
Well, that's a tough one. That's a tough one because, I mean, I would go with Benavidez.
Breaking down the matchup, de la Hoya believes Benavidez has the advantage because of his relentless activity, powerful punching, impressive speed, high volume offense, and exceptional footwork inside the ring.
Because he's more active, he throws more punches, he has better footwork, obviously, than Benavidez. You know, he's smarter up there. He knows how to think, knows how to adjust. Yeah, I would favor Benavidez.
One of the most controversial opinions comes from Max Kellerman, who argues that Benavidez has yet to be fully recognized as a true champion, not because of a lack of skill, but because many fighters have avoided facing him.
You beat the champion in 2 divisions. Benavidez, by my lights, the way I figure things, has never actually been the champion of a division. Not his fault. Canelo never gave him a shot. So far, neither Bivol gave him a shot, nor Beterbiev, when he was a champ, gave him a shot. Opataya is a champion who is sitting there going, I want to fight you, right? Look, the fact that no one's fought Benavidez, you understand. And I know he just beat Zurdo Ramirez and there were belts on the line. Right. The actual champion of the division is different. Let's say the most likely scenario is he goes back down to light heavy and he fights Bivol, who right now is the light heavyweight champion of the world.
The debate also continues over whether Benavidez should remain at cruiserweight or move back down to light heavyweight, with Dion Haney warning that the weight cut could negatively affect his overall performance inside the ring.
I don't love that for him because we've seen guys like Roy Jones go up in weight, and they come back down and they just aren't the same. I think he was already killing himself to make the weight. I've seen him do the weight cuts. I think that, you know, those weight cuts are brutal on him. I think that he's at cruiserweight. This is where we've seen the best of him. I think he should stay up there.
You know, guys, I agree, and I'll tell you something else. Where are you with this?
Me? I like it. I like the fight.
You like him going back down?
I think.
Or do you want Bivol to come up?
I think Bivol, no. Go back down if he likes to. He could use it. I mean, he's champion in both weight divisions.
At one point, Max even claimed that Tapamo should not be viewed as a legitimate title holder, arguing that Benz has still not been given the major fights and opportunities he truly deserves.
Especially should not be calling the title holders champions, because think of how hard it was. You actually had to be the champion of the whole wide world. It's different. It's different. The guys who need to call themselves champions who just grab a belt are the dudes who aren't good enough or didn't have the opportunity to even fight those fights. Anyway.
It hits different, and I feel like with Bivol, I think he's the only one that'll possibly give David Benavidez a little bit of run for his money.
Who do you like in the fight?
Moving all that?
Because of the movement, I think that Benavidez really capitalizes when you're right there with him. Yeah. And I think Bivol doesn't give you that kind of momentum.
The future of Benavidez remains widely debated, with Sean Porter stepping in to say that he must carefully choose his next weight class moving forward. Porter also highlights Gio Patia as the ideal opponent for his first matchup. He further suggests that Bivol would face an even tougher challenge against Benz than he did against Better BV. Meanwhile, the ongoing rivalry triangle involving Better BV and Bivol continues to loom over the division, keeping the entire landscape unpredictable.
At that weight class, I personally want to see the fight against Opataya. I personally want to see the fight against Bivol. Bivol, you're still around, and since you're still around, not that we're feeding you to the wolves, but this guy I think is young, vibrant, and probably will be, in a lot of ways, a tougher fight than Benavidez, or I'm sorry, than
Of course. Remember, I've been saying that. People, I'm good on the trilogy, man. Let Benavidez get his shot.
Focusing on the Benz versus Bivol matchup, Sean Porter emphasizes that this fight is even more exciting and appealing than Bivol's trilogy with Better BV. He describes Better BV as a straightforward fighter, someone who can be studied, targeted, and hit without too much complexity. However, Porter believes Benz and Bivol present an entirely different level of challenge. Both fighters possess the ability to hurt each other through skill, pressure, and intensity. According to him, this mutual danger is exactly what makes this potential clash the most thrilling fight in the division.
Styles make fights. With Benavidez, he's not complicated. He's going to be right there to hit and be hit, And like we saw with Bivol, it's up to Bivol to make the right moves, not be in the wrong spots at the right time. But with this fight with Benavidez, to me, there's just so much more that both these guys can do against one another that it makes it a better fight than the trilogy match with Benavidez.
Capimo Lopez also adds to the discussion, stating that Benavidez currently has multiple options and that the decision to move up or down in weight ultimately lies with him. However, Lopez is clear that Bivol is the fighter who could cause Benz the most problems, particularly due to his range and distance control. He believes Benz may struggle if the fight is dragged into a longer, tactical battle over multiple rounds. Lopez also references David Morrell, noting that even he was able to push Benz hard because of his awkward timing and tricky fighting style, further highlighting the challenges Benz could face against elite-level opposition.
He's in a new place right now.
I get it. I get it.
Is he in a tough place because he's at cruiserweight, and then if he drops back down to 175, or the fight with Usyk is a heavyweight, then he's in a hard place.
Well,
how should he maneuver that?
If he's cruiserweight, then they have a new weight class, a bridgerweight, or is that only WBC side?
Yeah.
Only WBC?
Yeah, that's an option.
You know what I mean? And he's basically a WBC world champion, so they could probably round him there too. So many avenues for him.
You mentioned you think Bivol is probably the only one that could challenge
just
him?
because of the distance.
Yeah.
David Morrell gave him a tough fight, you know what I mean? And that was just from the range a little bit here and there, and giving him a fight.
Stepping into the discussion, Ariel Helwani describes the Benavidez versus Bivol matchup as a gigantic fight with massive global appeal. He reflects on why American fans still remember Bivol for his victory over Canelo, and how that shared connection to the Canelo rivalry with Benz could turn this into a generational clash. Helwani also points to the heated build-up between David Morrell and Benz, noting how it helped sell out arenas. He suggests that with Bivol involved, the scale, hype, and international attention could be even greater than anything seen before.
This fight, Benavidez-Bivol, way bigger here in America. We just saw Benavidez carry a promotion with David Morrell, and Morrell did his part as well, but they sold out T-Mobile. A lot of people thought they wouldn't be able to do that. And now you bring in Dmitry Bivol, who a lot of American fans remember was the guy to beat Canelo Alvarez just a few years back. I think it would be a gigantic fight.
With Benz offering Bivol a catchweight super fight, the debate continues to intensify. Chris Algieri shares his perspective, saying Benavidez is creating confusion among fans with these discussions, as it is difficult to imagine him dropping back down to 175 after already establishing himself at cruiserweight. He calls it a real shame if that path is ultimately chosen, but still acknowledges that Benz is known for being full of surprises. Algieri suggests that this uncertainty only adds more tension and intrigue to an already explosive potential matchup.
Trepidation, fight week, when he was saying, I feel so good, you're gonna see the best version of me. Because if you go out there and you do exactly what he did, you're not gonna wanna leave the weight class. You're gonna wanna struggle and get back down to 75 when you literally look your best at this weight. So the writing was kind of on the wall with that, and now that he's alluding to that, that tells me that he's probably not going back down to 75 again, which is a real shame, because I know I really want that Bivol fight. But listen, David is full of surprise.
On the sidelines, Roy Jones Jr. urges Benavidez to go straight after Usyk and avoid names like Giopaya, Bivol, or Better BV, insisting he is ready now and at the peak of his powers. The idea has gained traction, with Jones even describing Benavidez as one of the hottest fighters in boxing at the moment. Chris Algieri, while a big admirer of Roy Jones Jr., does not fully agree with rushing into a fight with Usyk at this stage. He considers both perspectives, suggesting that Usyk could face a serious challenge, though not necessarily a long reign of dominance. In his view, if Ben steps in with a legend like Usyk right now, his legacy will be firmly cemented regardless of the outcome.